So let's jump straight to it. Spawning down in the bottom right hand position as the blue Protoss, it's Boombox. And his opponent up in the top left, the teal Zerg. Or is it the pink Zerg? No, it's definitely the teal Zerg. My color blindness showing. The teal Zerg up in the top left, it's Revolution. So, things getting mixed up here. Boombox not going for a gateway expand this game. Instead, he is putting a pylon down at his natural, and that means either a Forge first or a Nexus first is on the cards. Which will be, nobody knows. But it does mean that it needs a different response from Revolution. Specifically, Revolution needs to get a spawning pool down early, especially if it's going to be a Forge. If he goes hatch pool, he could be in some trouble, especially against the Forge first, and that's why we're seeing this Probe Scout come out nice and soon. Just going to get out, take a little peek around, go, okay, what's happening? What's going on? Going to see if there's any spawning pool early. Going to be seeing if there's any hatch first. Doing a nice little bit of mineral micro tricks here, where if you start mining a mineral patch with your probe and click on it a lot, it can bug out the AI of your opponent. But does he see the spawning pool go down? No, he doesn't quite. Needs to go and take a little poke back in there, just to get a little bit of information if it is coming. Sees the drone coming out now. That drone just going to deal a little bit of damage here, but it's all okay. And yeah, straight away, probe just dancing around. The Forge is on its way out, so probably not going to be, well, it won't be a cannon rush now, because if you were expecting a cannon rush, it'd be a 14 Forge down, but the probe doing a good job actually of delaying the natural hatchery by a couple of seconds. Does manage to get down now for Revolution, but it's the sort of thing which is always going to be good. Let's Forge, getting a Forge first at the later point does mean that you're a tad safer, and of course being safe is always an important thing, because you don't want to get caught off guard, especially when you're a game down in a best of 3, because all it needs is a big flood of lings, and actually then Boombox would get taken out, and his advancement through this tournament, or at least this cup, wouldn't be too bad. That would be a bad time for Boombox. I really hope he levels out. Boombox is a cool player. So is Revolution, though. They're both really good. And this is probably one of the most frustrating things about casting a UK-only tournament, is that being from the UK myself, having seen these players, met these players on multiple occasions, cast them many times, you grow fond of them and you want to see them do well. And they do play so well. And all of them have such promise to do amazing things. But yes, we've got, of course, the gateway coming down now. There's Cannon just chilling out at the front, making sure things are safe. The Overlord sneaking his way through, though. A stealthy Overlord. You wouldn't think something that big and that round could ever sneak through anything at all. But third hatch on its way out here for Revolution. Opening, everything good. Apparently my color blindness was kicking in. Apparently this is actually pink. I can see from the chat now. I am genuinely colorblind between grey and pink. It's a serious issue. It's why whenever I'm dual casting with someone, I have a co-caster, I always make sure that they introduce the players if there's a pink, or a teal, because I get confused. It's only because the teal color is like quite similar, and I can't see the difference. So never mind. I haven't mentioned it other than the start. Everyone can tease me in the chat. That's fine by me. But yes. Anyway, third hatch. 2/3 done. Everything looking good here. No gas taken yet. Expecting to see that sort of in the next 10 supply or so. Somewhere between 40 and 50 supplies. Generally, when you see the gas get taken, around 45, 2 gas is always good for Zerg. Meanwhile, here we've got, of course, Warp Gate Tech on its way down, as well as a Stargate once again for Mr. Boombox. Yeah, this is all going good. Stargate coming down. Will it be a single Phoenix again, potentially, into Voidways? Maybe. This time, though, Boombox, if you go for that push again, which was a beautiful push in towards the third, it was so good, please make sure that you kill the hatchery before you mass recall. It's definitely a good idea. Anyway, enough about that. Boombox played game 1 well, apart from that little slip-up. But yes, Revolution taking the gases now, bang on that 45 supply mark. Oh, good. Oh, very good. So, everything going just the way it should at the moment. Things looking pretty passive, actually. The Zealot is going to try and get a kill on the Queen. If he gets the Queen, that would be really good for it. The Queen runs away, drones, trying to fight. Queen does the little ring around the rosy. This is always tense moments when the Queen starts dancing around so badly, wants to get another shot off. The drone's about to be a hero. Save your Queen, drones. Save it. You can't risk the inject. Okay, good. Turns and fights. Good. Zealot gets taken out. Didn't manage to do much, and the Queen survives. Very, very important. Now, Robo coming down behind this. Phoenix on its way out. A second Phoenix, though, is the important thing to note. So this isn't the same build as we saw from Boombox game number 1. It's just going to be a little bit more harassment focused, less mid-game centric. Could see with this robotic facility coming out here, the option for us getting a nice little bit of Colossus out, a nice little bit of splash damage, because arguably that is what was missing. That's what allowed Revolution in game number 1 to deal so much damage to those Hydras, with just the lack of splash. If you had some splashdown, wouldn't have done anywhere near as much. So yeah, as we see, double evolution chambers are on their way out. The rocks are slowly taking some damage, essentially killing a rock. Killing rocks is nearly as painful to watch as Zergling's trying to do it, but Zerglings are around here, keeping an eye on the third if and when it gets taken. Meanwhile, we also got +1 missile attack, +1 carapace should get started shortly, but with the Phoenix down, Spore Crawlers are on their way out. 2 spores there, 2 spores in the natural, and 1 spore up in the main base, plus a Roach-Warren. Everything all looking fairly normal. So, as it stands, these Phoenix can't do too much more, and there we go, just as expected. Robotics Bay on its way out. Colossi going to be hitting the field. Still, just the 4 Phoenix. 4 Phoenix are good. They can lift the Queen and kill it. That's what we're going to see here. That Queen venturing forward a bit far. And this is actually the Queen from the natural base. So we'll need another lift just to pick it off. Should lift it again. There we go. 5 Phoenix, kill a Queen with 1 lift, which is really important to know. But yes, Phoenix still dying around. Trying to find any overlords that maybe just chilling somewhere, easy for picking off. Always good times to get that. An infestation pit getting started up nice and soon. So, oh no, please Boombox, please Revolution, don't go Swarm Host. Please don't do it. Don't do it. I'll forever love you. But yeah, for the moment, Queen gets taken down. The Queen count now already shot down to only 1. More Queens are in production. Gonna go back up to 2, but this is now hurting the injects, hurting the production capability of Revolution, and Revolution ain't gonna like that one bit, I can assure you. Colossi are on the way out. Third Nexus getting secured up now, so just expanding in a perfectly reasonable time. Just playing things fairly normal. Infestation pit is done, but no sign yet of a hive or yet of a swarm host or anything like that. Hive looking quite likely, and there we go, it is getting started up. That's just going to be for some Vipers ready to deal with those Colossi. In terms of scouting information, the robotics facility has been seen, but the robotics bay hasn't yet. Nor will of the Twilight Council, because that's only just finishing at the moment. But that's most likely just going to be for the +2 upgrades. Still only operating off of a single forge at the moment. Single upgrades there compared to the double upgrades of his opponent. Revolution going to be looking very good in terms of that. Taking a 4th base now too. This is in response to seeing the 3rd getting taken there. So all looking good, but well, these Phoenix, they can pick away at some Roaches. Roaches getting lifted up, seeing the least happy thing ever. They're like a kitten in water. Some kittens like water though. Roaches, no Roaches like being lifted. Drones, of course, also not too appreciative of being lifted off the ground. A couple more drones getting taken out here. These Phoenix in total, 7 workers killed. Not the biggest one ever, not the biggest amount of damage ever, but enough just to deal trickle damage and actually put Boombox up in the worker count. So with that 3rd up, he should have a slightly greater income than that of Revolution. But Revolution's hive is about to complete. The Templar Archives also coming down. A couple of High Templar are going to be really powerful in this composition if used well, because you need to get some awesome feedbacks down on the Vipers to prevent the Abducts. You burst them nice and easy. But also with the High Templar there, you've got Storms, which will really help deal with those Hydralisks if you can get some good hits off. Phoenix can see that the 4th base is on its way out. And now, of course, these Phoenix just gonna try and find anything, pick up some stuff. A couple of drones here getting killed. Any little bits of damage like this, you're always gonna be happy with, to be honest, because it doesn't cost you anything other than energy to kill a few drones. You're gonna be very, very good with all of that. So, for the moment, everything going on good, nothing too scary happening. Colossi count starting to raise up. Vipers starting to hit the field too, consuming some health from friendly buildings in order to get up their energy. Ready for the Abducts, ready for the Blinding Clouds, but it's mainly the Abducts on the Colossus that is going to be oh so important. Now, Protoss ground weapons at level 2 on its way out, and all in all, with that, just a nice little upgrade boost with no 2-2 started actually from Revolution. just getting that +2 attack going to be really good. I'm surprised Revolution hasn't started the +2 yet, because that is going to be really, really important. So, anyway, all here, things are going fairly good. With Vipers out, the Colossi do need to be careful. There are 3 Vipers up against 3 Colossus, so that's good. A 4th Colossus is about to pop out. +2 weapons are done though. Very Hydralisk heavy, this composition for the time being. 19 Roaches, 23 Hydras. A couple of High Templar are there, but not able to get any feedbacks down yet, so just still the damage coming forward. Looking when to maybe go in. Those Phoenix being used to try and snipe off the Vipers, but 2 Phoenix die, killing 0 Vipers in total themselves. Not a good trade there, but just saying, you know what, if you move those Vipers out of position, they will go down. Of course, Vipers are light units, so do take bonus damage from those Colossus. Feedback comes out. 2 Colossi get sniped, though. Good abducts there, and that simply means that with 2 Colossus in the back, maybe a retreat from Boombox in order to Revolution. Trying to chase this down, does manage to get a couple of High Templar and a few sentries. May even get a couple more sentries, which is great. Very gas-heavy investment there. And we can see from the resources lost, the big gas losses being taken by Boombox at the moment. But he's pushing forward. He's got a good number of Stalkers. Blinks aggressively into this to take out a couple more Hydralisks. And we've got a lot of reinforcements on their way through, though. Revolution remaxing. His Viper count, though, is currently only at 1. 1 lone Viper. The 1 Viper to rule them all. Maybe. He's going to be a bit of a hero, this Viper. Viper's mouths just look so scary. As you do. But anyway, War Prism coming in. A little bit of harassment coming down here. No Spine Crawlers up in the main. There are some Spores, but that's not going to help. Zealots get warped in. Colossi still doing some nice damage. The 3rd Colossus trying to get out here. A couple of High Templar coming forward. They do not have Storm yet, but it's only just started researching, so it's going to become a little Archon. But the Roach is just hugging up on everything. Dealing some good damage. And the Duck will now go down. That Colossus equals dead, hopefully, for Revolution. He does manage to secure it. Only a single, 2nd Colossus does pop back out, so that didn't have to achieve too much. Now, the splash damage is still good, especially with the +2 damage there, but are we going to be able to see this get cleaned up? Yes, we will. Revolution losing a lot of stuff. Currently losing significantly more, nearly double the resources of his opponent. And bear in mind, Boombox is up at 80 probes. Really, it can't be justified losing that much. Could do with transferring some drones from his 3rd over to his 4th, though, because he's a little bit undersaturated there for the time being. So, could definitely go for it. All in all, though, a nice little Zealot Warpin coming down at the main and the 4th base now. Nice damage being done. And, well, a few more drones will get taken out. 26 workers have been killed in total. And more getting killed. Where the Hydras going? The Hydras! Come back, Hydralisks! Come and deal with these Zealots. It'd be important. The Spore Crawler dies too. All looking good. The War Prism unfortunately goes down, but 29 workers killed is nothing to be scared of, especially when that takes your opponent down to just 63 drones compared to 87 probes. I would argue here actually that perhaps Boombox has got a few too many probes, but he's not maxed out, so it's not like his army supply is being limited. Storm is now done, but these High Templar just chilling on their lonesome are very easy targets should they want to get taken down. The Viper count, unfortunately, sitting at 0. That is a problem for Revolution, because with no Vipers, simply means that he's going to be running into some difficulties abducting down those Colossus. But he has realized the error of his ways, the problem with his composition, and therefore it's going to correct it after losing those Vipers previously by getting some more out, because he needs those abducts in order to engage this effectively. Unfortunately, there's a good number of High Templar out now too, 6 of them. That's a good number of feedbacks, and not to mention a good number of storms. Since this is a UK only tournament, of course, we've had our fair share of storms so far this week. We had a big one on Sunday night, Monday morning, and well, I don't think Revolution is going to want to have to relive that. So, we've got Boombox moving forward, his High Templar being safely kept back at home. Well, not back at home, at the back of the army. That's not home. Closer to his home than it is to that of Revolution's swarm, but still, the engagement going to come down shortly. This is going to be tough. Nice pre-spreading of units here from Revolution. Here comes, but the storms are shattering everything. Look at that damage, the Colossi. Dealing a nice amount of stuff. 2 of the Vipers instantly get feedbacks, but a nice little blinding cloud will force some of these Colossus to nudgel their way forward. But Boombox, he is dealing all of the damage. He comes in with more Colossi. Vipers getting taken out. Boombox is doing it, everyone. He is going in for the damage with 28 Roaches reinforcing, and there is not much support for these Colossi. Can critical damage be done in time, though? Boombox up to 91 probes. He's clearly been watching the Day 9 dailies back in the day of probes and pylons. because he has not stopped with them all game. The Colossi are taking a bit of fire. They need to retreat back up onto the high ground. Blinkstalk is coming forward. Three Colossus managed to escape for the moment. No high ground vision, only now just being granted, but that Colossus takes a good amount of fire. The Roches are taking a lot of damage too, though, but for the moment, Revolution will hold. His Viper count a bit low. He's getting out more Hydras at the moment, as well as attempting to secure up a 5th base, but both players have been on 4 bases for a long time. Boombox. Okay, you're up at 96 probes. Has anyone ever seen a Protoss player go up to 100 probes? I'm trying to rack my memory to think if I've seen it. I may have done, but I don't think it was off of 4 bases. This is a lot of oversaturation, especially with the main mined out. That is a lot of oversaturation. So, Boombox, you need to sacrifice some probes. I'm sorry, you gotta do it. You gotta do it quick. Boombox is maxed out though. The engagement is coming down. Where are the storms? There they are, and they are hitting just so much stuff. The High Templar unfortunately running forward, hugging things all the time, but Revolution not trading well. Revolution GG's out. Boombox will be victorious and levels out this series